What is up, noobs and noobettes? Charles Tingley here, and welcome to episode 3 of Is It Actually Epic? This is a series where I review all the epic prototypes in Infinite Warfare, give you the pros and cons of each, recommended class setups, and the ultimate question, is it worth you grinding the mission teams or spending your hard-earned salvage on buying the prototype? Today's prototype is the HVR Gemini. It's an akimbo prototype, which is pretty fucking awesome, so let's get straight into its traits. Alrighty, so the HVR Gemini, here it is right here. Its first trait is Twin Sanity, which makes the weapon akimbo and also reduces your hipfire spread. And then its second trait is Readiness. This will allow you to reload faster when you run out of ammo, and this is really good for this prototype because you're pretty much spraying and praying the whole time, so you will run out of ammo a lot, and being able to reload quickly and get back into the action and hose down some more motherfuckers is pretty fucking awesome. That's enough blabbing about the weapon. Let's jump straight into some gameplay and talk about the pros and cons. Alrighty, let's get it started with the fact that the HVR has the highest damage out of all the submachine guns, so having two of them and being able to spray them both means you will melt people ridiculously quick, especially when they're really up close to you. They'll just pretty much instantly die. It's like you have a shotgun and they just won't know what hit them, man. These guns are really fun to run around and use, and you definitely will not struggle to take on multiple enemies with this thing. Next up, and make sure you're using dexterity with this, but this weapon has a really fast reload time and it also has a pretty decent hipfire spread. This means you can constantly stay in the action, you can constantly just quickly reload, get into the next gunfight, hose down as many people as possible, man. It is so fun using this weapon, honestly, guys. And for some reason, even reloading this weapon feels really satisfying. It's probably the animation and the sounds, to be honest, but yeah, man, I just had a lot of fun using this thing. It absolutely melts, and it's just a really good weapon overall. And the last thing I wanted to mention, aside from the pistols and the Type 2 secondary mode, this is the only akimbo weapon in the game. So that's pretty fucking awesome. If you're a big fan of akimbo weapons, this is definitely the weapon for you, and you'll definitely thoroughly enjoy using this thing. And I know what you're thinking. Hey, Tingley, you're talking this weapon up so fucking much. Surely there's some bad things about it. And yes, there definitely is, guys. So firstly is the fact that the HVR doesn't really have that fast of a fire rate. The best akimbo weapons are usually ones with a very fast fire rate because you can shoot more bullets and you have a higher chance of hitting one of those bullets and killing the enemy. This may fuck you up at times. It is kind of counteracted by the fact that it has a high damage, but if there's multiple enemies or if the enemy is a bit far away, you may not hit enough bullets to finish them off, so this slow fire rate may fuck you at times. And next is the fact that because it is an akimbo weapon, guys, you're limited to close range. If you're not a player that knows how to choose their gunfights wisely or transverse the map in a way where you can predict the type of gunfights you'll get into, you may struggle at times if the enemy is a bit far away, because combining it with the slow fire rate and the fact that it's akimbo, it'll just mean you won't be able to tag enough bullets to finish off the enemy, and you may find yourself in a lot of sticky situations. You can kind of counteract this depending on the rig you're using. I would highly recommend using Rewind, guys. You earn it pretty frequently and you can just get yourself out of sticky situations if you find yourself in a longer range engagement. And that's it for the pros and cons of this weapon. Let's move on to the recommended class setup. So the two attachments that are absolutely essential for this prototype are firstly laser sight. This will decrease your hipfire spread even more. It'll make it more likely for you to hit those shots, and it'll just make it a lot easier for you to kill enemies a lot quicker. Also, you want to strap on extended mags because you are spraying a lot of bullets. You need as many bullets as possible in your clip so you can just continue spraying for longer. This will allow you to take on more enemies or just have enough bullets to take on the specific enemies you're trying to face. So those two are definitely essential, guys. And then the third one is up to you. If you're someone that likes to be stealthy, equip Silencer. This will allow you to constantly flank enemies, just hose all those people down from the back and get those double kills like it ain't no thing. Or if you're someone that doesn't really mind showing up on the minimap, then you should use Rifled Barrel. This will increase your damage range. It'll allow you to melt people from a further distance. And yeah, man, it'll just make this gun a lot more lethal. I personally prefer the Silencer because I feel like the positives of a Silencer heavily outweigh the positives of having Rifled Barrel. being able to stay stealthy and stay off the map is a big advantage, and it'll allow you to just attack the enemies at different angles and catch enemies off guard and get more feeds and more kills and get those score streaks like it ain't no thing. I would also recommend using Dead Silence, guys. The fact that this is a close range weapon means you really need to get up into the face of the enemies, so being able to sneak around and not be heard will be a big advantage to you. There's nothing worse than someone hearing your thrusters and then turning and killing you, so definitely strap on that Dead Silence. And if you're someone that likes using the FTL rig, I would highly recommend using the Power Slide trait. This will again let you get right up into the face of the enemy, and the closer you are, the more of your bullets that will hit and the quicker you're going to melt those motherfuckers. You want to make sure you're always on the move with this weapon, guys. Again, you really need to be up close to people, so you want to make sure you're constantly running around the map as quickly as possible, constantly staying on the front foot and on the attack, and just catching people off guard and getting to as many gunfights as possible. And that's it, guys. Now the question you've all been waiting for: is it worth you grinding out the mission team to rank 50 in order to unlock this weapon? In my opinion, fuck yes, dude. This is one of the most fun prototypes in the game, in my opinion. I had a blast recording the footage for this thing. This is definitely a prototype I'll be using again, and if you're a fan of akimbo weapons, this is definitely the weapon for you. And the great thing about this thing is you don't actually have to spend salvage for it, so if you didn't think it was worth spending salvage for, then the fact that you just have to rank up your mission team makes it not as bad. And again, the fact that it's the only akimbo weapon in the game just makes it all the more better. So tell me, Tingly, is it actually epic? In my opinion, guys, it definitely is, man. You should definitely grind out your mission teams, guys. Anyways, man, that's pretty much it for this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed the tips and the footage. Leave me a comment letting me know what you think of this weapon. If you have it yourself, let me know your thoughts, man. Also, leave me a comment on what epic prototype you want me to do next, and I'll get right onto that shit. But that's pretty much it for this vid, man. Don't forget to rate it. I'll catch you all in the next video. Until next time. Peace out, noobs.